Hey everyone, Ed from Paranormal Inc. Ohio here, back at it again with another podcast episode. Tonight's podcast episode, we're going to talk about ourselves and how we act with our feelings and our emotions. Does that trigger different paranormal outcomes? They always say, and by they I mean, these big time scholars in the paranormal, scientists, just anybody that has a higher education than me. I always say they, so I hear it from these people. So, and what I've learned in my research and what I've read and studied in the paranormal, which I have done for many years, I've come to learn that our emotions can trigger and create different paranormal activities. Poltergeists are huge. Sorry, you're going to hear me clear my throat. I've got a cold and it is just not letting loose of me. So I'm so sorry if you hear that. I really apologize. But anyways, poltergeists, man, they feed off of energy. Like, they're created by our energy. And I'll tell you why. Because when a spirit is haunting a home or a location, we have to feed it its energy to be able to do things. And when we see a cup get thrown, or stuff gets stacked up, or lights turn on and off, cupboards open and shut, things go flying everywhere, it's because we're feeding that entity that has been laying dormant, whether it be for hundreds of years or just a recent passing of somebody. Our emotions feed this paranormal phenomena. Demonic possessions is huge. Demons, they come against you to use your emotions against you. They attach themselves to you, because demonic infestation is they infest, they oppress, they depress, then they possess. They infest the home, then they oppress you to where you go into a deep depression, to where you're nothing, and they just take over and then they possess. But they're using that energy of your feelings, your emotions against you to be able to build themselves up, to make them more powerful as they're making you weaker at the same time. It's insane. Because, a lot of people that were demonically possessed, that have survived the possession, and a lot haven't. A lot have died from it. Whether it be from the demonic possession or the number of exorcisms that was, done to them. And the human body can only stand so much. But the people that have survived have all said the same thing. You turn into a different person. This entity takes over and it just turns you from, you could be the coolest, easygoing person in the entire world with the biggest heart and love to give, and turn you into the complete opposite. A hot-headed, angry, pissed off person who loves to take. Or it can turn you into just a depressed, very lonely, just very sad, downtrodden person. And as your body gets weaker and weaker from the oppression and the depression, it gets stronger and is able to possess after that. I mean, so think about it. It's like, I don't know if everybody's like this, but I know that I am like this. And I know there's some people that are like me. My kids, they do the same thing as I'm about to describe. Say you go to bed upset. You just got in a fight with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your kid or, wife, husband, whatever. You go to bed, you're upset. Your adrenaline's pumping. Your emotions are peaked. You're angry, you're sad, all at the same time. And now when you fall asleep, you have 9 times out of 10 some of the most horrific dreams you ever imagined. Okay? They can be nightmares. They could be anything of the person you're arguing with has died, or they just completely leave you and just leave you alone, or your biggest fear just comes out because your emotions are driving you in your subconscious. And, I believe in that. I do. I believe in the paranormal 100%. I believe it's real. And I work every single day to try to prove that it's real to all the skeptics out there. But I also believe in science and pseudoscience and how our bodies work. And subconsciously, when we're in a dream state, our mind is just uber open. It's just so open. And everything that can come in will come in. And when you're in a dream state, it's almost like you're in a vulnerable state, not only in the physical world, but in the spiritual world as well. Because your body is just, it's just shut down. It's like sleep mode. It's shut down, it's rejuicing, charging up for the next day. But when you go to bed like that, upset or angry or something like that, you have these most horrific dreams. And entities feed off that. Especially your darker entities. They feed off that. They're waiting for it. They're probably doing stuff in the background that you can't see or hear to make this stuff happen. Now, I know when I go to bed and I'm overjoyed and I'm happy, I sleep wonderfully because my emotions are great. My body is relaxed and I don't have these horrific dreams. Now, years ago, when I was having some problems with a darker entity, I would have the same nightmare every night. It was the same thing. Scared the hell out of me every single day. Every night when I had it, scared the hell out of me. But I know it was feeding off that. And that's what caused a lot of issues, was it was feeding off my emotions, off of the energy that I put out. So if you put out a negative energy, you're going to get negative reactions back. If you put out a positive energy, you're going to get a positive reaction back. I mean, I know it's not rocket science. Everybody knows that. But think about it. If you're living in a home right now where it's nothing but craziness and turmoil and fighting and, just all craziness, the atmosphere feels terrible. It feels dark. It feels heavy. You can't breathe. It's like you're suffocating. And then, 9 times out of 10, when a haunt happens and a spirit's there, it's going to feed off that negative energy. You're going to get a bad haunting. Poltergeist activity is going to happen. Stuff's going to get thrown around because you're giving it like a buffet of food, of constant energy, of constant rejuvenation. And it's going to continue on and on and on. I mean, that's why when I go investigate and I go to people's homes and I know, it's none of my business if these people are fighting and arguing. So I don't get into that aspect of it. I just sit down and I explain to them, like, hey, if there's a lot of fighting, if there's a lot of negative energy flying around here, whatever's here is going to pick up on it. And if it's a darker entity, and it's like I said, you're just giving it a buffet for free. It's living off your pain and anguish, and it's continuing to do so each and every day it happens. And I know that there was a couple that I went to their house and investigated, and it was like that. I mean, they fought a lot, and I wasn't, and I told them this from the beginning. I said, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to be your marriage counselors or anything like that. You called me here because of what's going on. I want to investigate, and I want to keep you guys involved with it. So they were like, "Oh, yeah, we absolutely understand." I wasn't trying to be, mean to them or anything. If either one of them wanted to talk to me about anything, that's perfectly okay. I'm a very open guy. I will listen to anybody. If you ever need an ear to just talk to, I'm always here for anybody. I guess for anybody out there too. You ever have a problem or an issue, DM me on Facebook. I'm here to help. So, but I was trying to show them how the whole emotional thing works. So I investigated. We found out, yes, there was something indeed in their home. It was very active, and it was a poltergeist. I mean, I seen it with my own eyes. I got, audio and video evidence of it all. And I sat down with them and I said, what you guys have to do is you have to work on each other as you're trying to work on this. And I said, I know it's hard. I know things are stressful. I mean, things can be very stressful. And, not everything goes great all the time. So they sat down, they talked about it, and they started working on it, man. They really did. They started talking to each other more. And as they were telling me this, and as I would go back every week and would investigate more and more. And the hauntings, as they were getting like in a better relationship, if you want to say it like that, like their emotions were getting better, the hauntings kind of dwindled down, where it wasn't so dark and it wasn't such a terrifying experience. Because I'm telling you, that first night I went in there and investigated, I was terrified. This was really scary. And I've investigated a lot of places, but this place was just hopping, man. You could feel it. You could feel it when you got up on the porch. You could just feel it. It was just like raw emotional energy. And it started dwindling away. Yes, the house is haunted. Yes, it is haunted by a spirit. But if we act, it's almost like, and this is just my opinion, nobody else has to agree with it. But it's almost like sometimes the spirit world is like children. And, like children are like sponges. They see what we do and they react to that and they copy that because we're their parents. And they're like, oh my God, I see that, Sometimes the spirit world can be like that and they see us and they act like us. Or if that's the only thing they see, because you got to remember, a lot of the times, spirits don't even know that they're dead. They just believe they're living their lives. And they think maybe they're going crazy. So anyways, as the days and the weeks went on, the crazy stuff started slowing down to a minimal. And I was cleansing the house. I was burning sage, putting holy water down, saying prayers, each time I did it. And it worked. But I'm not going to sit here and take all the credit for it, because they worked just as hard as I did by working on themselves to change the whole emotional outcome. It was crazy to me. And to this day, they're still very happily married, and they live in the same home, and it is still active, but not like it was. And they've told me that they notice when a fight breaks out or someone yells or something like that or gets into it, it feels heavy in the house again. And I told them, I said, well, whatever that evil is, whatever that bad dark entity is, it's still here. And it's just waiting on that buffet to open back up. And I told them that if they want to, I gave them all the right steps to get rid of this dark entity, go by their religion and, to see how they want to get rid of it and how their religion calls to get rid of it, and then they should be able to do that. And I said, I would help in any way necessary, I'll be there through no matter what. But they came to a conclusion is that they can live with it if it continues to be, calm and cool. And I told them, I said, that's a dangerous game, because these darker entities, granted, yes, we feed them by our energy and by our emotions, but they're still their own entity. They're still their own thing. It's not like if you're just calm and cool for the rest of your life that it's not going to spring into action. It'll just take it longer, and it'll have to work harder for it. So they're taking the steps, and they are getting a hold of their church to try to rid themselves of this. They're going to keep me in the loop, and I'll keep updating you on them as time goes. But I've kind of rambled on here. Energy comes from us that we give to them. They can also hit us with their energy as well. They can, and zap us and drain us of our energy, even if we're not fighting or yelling and screaming. It's just our raw energy that we keep in ourselves. And that's why sometimes when you go on investigations, or if you're in a haunted home or haunted building, all of a sudden you just feel oh, you feel so drained, you're so tired, you're ready to pass out and go to sleep, or you feel sick or nauseous, is because the spirits are just sucking you dry. Now that I wish I could control, because it seems like every time I go on an investigation, I get just drained. But it's not always bad. So I wanted to do tonight's episode a little differently. I wanted to jump into the side of humanity as well as the dead. And try to, let you guys know how I see how energies work and how emotions work. And how it fuels the paranormal. Because it really does. I mean, it's not just bad. I know I sit here and I say, I know I talk about demonic things all the time. The only reason why I do that is because I want you guys to know and learn everything as I do to keep yourself safe from them. I'm not obsessed with them. I'm not, anything like that. I want you guys to protect yourselves from them. I do. Because demons, whether they are good or evil in anybody's way of looking at it, I know a lot of people out there, worship demons, worship Satan. They think, that Satan and demons being the good guys and God being the bad guys. And everybody has their own way of thinking. And I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable in any way on this show or in any of my stuff that I do, because everybody has a right to their own way of thinking. Everybody has a right to their own speech, and everybody has a right to feel the way they feel. But I talk about demons because I've learned so much about bad demons, and I just want to keep you guys safe. So, and you ever want to talk to me about this, you ever want to talk to me about demons, angels, ghosts, anything like that, send me a direct message on Facebook, Paranormal Inc. Ohio, or you can go to my Ed Lee Master Jr. page. Talk to me. Let me know how you feel. Leave me a comment here on whatever you're listening to me on, whether it be Spotify or Spotify for podcasters, Amazon Music, the whole lot of them that I'm on, that podcast can be listened to. Leave me a message. Leave me a comment. I'll get back to you. Or you can send me an email, paranormalhelp937@gmail.com. You guys need help with anything paranormal, or if you just need someone to talk to, find a way to get a hold of me through there. But you can go to paranormalinc.com and you can see everything that we have on there, whether it be crystals that we have for sale or sage, some old investigations, some new investigations. A lot is going on there. Paranormal Inc. Ohio on Facebook, Paranormal Inc. Ohio group page on Facebook, Paranormal Inc. Ohio TikTok, Paranormal Inc. Ohio YouTube. And, I'm out there. I'm on everything that you can watch, and I hope you enjoy everything that I put on there. And if you ever need help, contact me on there. Thank you very much, guys, for checking out tonight's episode. I love each and every single one of you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And you'll hear from me tomorrow night. Thanks. Bye, everyone.